Greetings from the garden. My name is Ben, and today we're going to look at getting rid of grass so that you can start to grow your own food right at home. Let's jump into the garden and get started. So to get started with your veggie garden as quickly and cost-effectively and easily as possible, we want to set you up for success. So the first most critical thing to look out for is sunlight. Veggies want full direct sun as much as they can, and we're looking for at least 8 hours a day in direct sunlight. The next thing to look out for is drainage. We want to make sure that veggies don't sit in any standing water, and so pay attention after a rain. Don't put this someplace where maybe rainwater collects in your yard after a rain. You want to put this someplace where the water will drain off relatively easily. So to get started, we're going to use a method that we call smothering to get rid of our turf. Now the space that we're working in here, you'll notice, of course, there is no grass. We're using an existing garden space, but imagine, if you will, that there is turf here. And so the smothering method is one of the quickest and easiest and most organic ways to get started. Because remember, we're growing food here, and we don't want to put down any chemicals that the plants might suck up and end up in our food later. So we want this to be as healthy and clean of a soil as possible. So in order to get started, you'll need a few really simple tools. The first and most important is some cardboard. And again, like many of you, I have a lot of cardboard laying around in my basement right now from some extra deliveries. Check in with your neighbors from a comfortable 6-foot distance and see if they have extra cardboard. You already have it, it's free, it's cheap, it's easy to get. As you're working with your cardboard, remember this is something that we're using cardboard because it will break down, it's organic. And so we want to make sure that we try and get as much of the plastic packing tape or packing labels off of the cardboard as we possibly can. Now in this case, we have a few packing labels that we couldn't quite get off. That's okay. We want to get as much as we possibly can. What'll happen is next spring or next fall, when you're sort of going through and working your soil, you might find a packing label that didn't break down or decompose. That's okay. It won't harm you or your plants. You just want to get as much of it out as you possibly can to keep your soil clean and easy to work. Now, as you get started with laying down the cardboard, you want a little bit of overlap between the pieces. And this is to help prevent grass or other plants from coming through the soil below and popping up through your new vegetable garden. In our 5 by 10 foot space, we're going to start from one corner to make sure we get as good of coverage as we possibly can. As you're laying this down, if you're doing it on a windy day like we are today, having a little extra soil in a bucket nearby is a great idea to help keep your cardboard from flying away. And then as we move forward, it's sort of like building with Legos or building blocks or something else. You just want to start layering and chunking the pieces together. The next thing to note is that this is a 5 by 10 foot space that we're working in. Optimally, you're looking for 6 inches of compost or soil on top of the cardboard. Now to calculate this, we're going to do a quick refresher on geometry to find volume. So again, volume is length times width times height. We already know our length and our width. Again, that's 5 by 10, so we have 50 square feet. Our height is 6 inches, which is half a foot. So 50 times 0.5 is 25 cubic feet of soil. You can see I have all of my bags of soil compost right here behind me. And so all we now need to do is just cut these open and dump them over our space and rake it out to that 6-inch depth. Thank you for joining me in the garden today. I hope you can see now how easy it is to get started with growing your own food at home, and we'll see you in the garden next time.